Picture this. You just acquired the game Dark Souls for the system of your choice. You get ready and you put the game in, and you're eagerly watching the cutscene as it shows you the world, its inhabitants, the potential big bads of that world, and how it's stuck in the era of fire. You're then enticed by the game to create a character, and as soon as you're done, you're immediately thrown into a cell, what appears to be a ruined asylum. But not all hope's lost. A potential ally appears and drops a key into the middle of your cell. You pick up the key, and as you exit, you find yourself in a small narrow corridor. As you continue through its twists and turns, it leads you into an open area where you're confronted by a giant demon. As you escape the demon and the asylum itself, you find yourself on a cliff edge. As you approach, a giant raven swoops in and takes you off to what appears to be another ruin, to the hub of the world, the Firelink Shrine, where the adventure truly begins. This is how Dark Souls tells its lore, not through a straight narrative, but as branching paths, where the player can choose which way they go and what goals they want to accomplish one after the other. Hello again, and welcome to the GameSpace, where today we will be talking the narrative of Dark Souls. I'll be your host today, Joshua Harlock Adam. The narrative design of Dark Souls comes from the aspect of show, don't tell. Through the player's own gameplay is how the story will unfold. Even if the player chooses not to read the small tidbits of story hidden throughout the game, the player will slowly understand the basics based on the environment, musical cues, and item placement throughout the game. Environmental details such as when you're in the first area of the game, the asylum, right before you encounter the demon, when you enter that open area, your gaze is fixated upon the row of pottery that leads to an open doorway, and as soon as the demon attacks you, you already know where to go if you want to flee. Or when you drain the water and enter the flooded city for the first time and encounter all the ghost residents, the player can immediately put two and two together. Even during the final area of the game, how it's a desolate landscape covered in ash, except for the few guards guarding it and the final boss, almost as if telling the player they are the first ones to encounter this area. Items such as the one you're told to find, the relic of the Knight Artorias, which will allow you to traverse what is known as the Abyss. When you locate his grave, however, you aren't alone, as you'll be confronted by his companion, the Great Wolf Sif. The item you gain both from his grave, as well as the item you obtain by transmuting the soul of Sif, not only gives you a bit more information about the Abyss, but it clues you in to what's further to come in the Dark Souls storyline, as you truly won't be able to counter the Abyss entirely until you run through the downloadable content later on in the game. This is where you not only find out more about the Abyss, but you're able to encounter the Knight Artorias himself. Narrative like this is what draws people in the Dark Souls community to slowly put all the pieces into place to form the bigger picture of it all. The second narrative design is through its non-playable characters, NPCs such as the jerk Patches and the times he will betray the player, to the fan favorite Solaire and its jolly cooperation to praise the sun. The player doesn't have to feel obligated to follow the stories of these NPCs, as the NPCs are not tied to the player. The way the game is laid out makes it seem the other way around, to where when you follow one of the key NPCs' storylines, this makes the player feel almost like the companion to observe the tale of these unique individuals, rather than taking the lead and enjoying the spotlight themselves. Finally is the aspect of musical cues. As the player slowly uncovers new environments to explore, the player will immediately know how to feel based on the musical cue when they first step into the area. From the tranquil bonfire at Firelink Shrine, letting the player know they could be at ease, even if it's just for a moment, to Forsaken Beach, that tells the player that they've stepped into something dangerous, yet very sacred, to finally the last area of the game, with its chilling atmosphere that tells the player that this is going to be an uphill battle, and nothing easy. All this is given to the player through an unspoken, branching narrative, without any hand-holding. This ultimately gives the player the choice to what they want to discover and how they want to experience it. This is what makes the Dark Souls narrative so great and impactful. Thank you once again for joining us on this miniature dissection of Dark Souls. Now, if you're intrigued and want to learn the actual lore of the game, I highly recommend checking out Epic Name Bro and Vati Vidya. I'll be throwing links to them in the description as well as on screen. Feel free to show some love over there and tell them that we say hi. If you can, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe. It'll help us out tremendously to grow the channel. Once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.